Hello. Okay, so about 2 years ago now, music reaction channel MarcoMeatball, who I've been following for a while now. I remember when he was still just starting out, and I think the earliest video of his I saw first was Daughter of the Dark God. You know exactly why that was the first video. And I'm very, very happy to see someone rise up to the heights that he's reached now. I'm super duper happy to see that. But 2 years ago, he put out a video about an ideal video game music concert idea that he had. And it was just a list of songs that he thought would work well in a concert setting and be good for people that are gamers and non-gamers alike, something that everybody could enjoy. And I took that as a challenge because my brain saw it as a form of customization. And knowing this series, that's kind of the main thing. So I decided to make my own form of response video to Marco's by making my own video game concert list. Now, I didn't go for the exact same criteria as Marco. My list is a little more of just songs that I like, but also I wanted to try and make the concert musically cohesive and have a flow, like a narrative kind of flow in the tone and mood and type of music that I went with, like trying to tell a story but only through instrumentation essentially. So that's what I've done. I finally settled on my list. There's definitely been a lot of swap arounds and stuff. The rule I tried to impose on myself is one song per game. I didn't stick to it, but I at least tried to space them out if I used two songs from the same game. Same series is fine, but again, trying to stick to one per series, and encore doesn't count. Encore is for fun. I get to throw in a couple songs that I just want to have at the end for fun. And that's pretty much it. So if you're interested in listening to it, I have a playlist in the description with every single song included in it. I tried to not include extended or looping versions, but most of them probably have like at least 2 rotations of the same song. It's fine. You won't really care. One song in there is like 30 minutes. I don't think you should listen to it for that long. So I figured I'd just go over the list, and Marco, if you're watching, hi, I love the stuff. Okay, let's get on to the list. Also, this video is absolutely not getting monetized in any sense of the word, so if you want to support me, like and subscribe the video. Alright, so to start off, we want seating music. I'm going to be following a little bit of the same format of Marco, and with seating music, I decided to go with a different Nintendo track than just Mario, and I went with Azalea Town from Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver. This feels like a really good track that you can have on in the background because it's not too attention grabbing that it pulls people out of conversations or makes them feel like they're not allowed to speak while they're taking their seats with their friends. But it's also just, you know, noticeable enough, memorable enough from people who have played this game that, you know, you can sit down and enjoy it if that's what you want to do instead. Then, once that's all done, the show's about to start, everything goes dead quiet, and I want to start it off with an absolute banger to kick things off with this. That's an advertisement for Joe Fresh. That is not... no. Oh yeah. Oh, it's so good. So, fun fact about this song, I've never played an IS game. I'm assuming that's how it's pronounced. The only reason I know this song is because when I was a kid, I used to play a lot of Flash games, as probably most people my age that are watching this video did. I don't know what kids do in computer labs anymore when they're done their work. Anyway, one of the Flash games that really stuck with me growing up was a game called Robo Slug 2. And it didn't use this exact song, but apparently after doing tons of searching on the internet, the person that made the minigame had the music person just do a new rendition of this song for RoboSlug 2, and that was just the repeating level theme, and I loved it. I absolutely adored that song. But I didn't know what it was or where it was from. It seemed too good for a Flash game. Come years later, whenever the Chronicles re-release or whatever was shown off on a Nintendo Direct, I believe it was, and this started playing, just unlocked a memory for me, and I was so happy to be able to track this down and like save it so that I know what it is to make the end of battle. So yeah, the full long version of that just to kick off the concert, like big explosive energy just to get the crowd riled up. But then we're going to move right into something a little bit calming. Think of this as like an opening normal battle of the game if you're wanting to follow the journey aspect of the tone. So now we're going to move into a town theme with Octopath Traveler 2's A Verdant Wind Blows Day. That flute is sublime. This is one of the most underrated songs for any fantasy RPG village. The whole soundtrack, I've already been over it before. Octopath Traveler 2's soundtrack is completely underrated. I know every RPG fan says that about their favorite RPG, but 2 is just a whole other league. There's so much good music like this in that game, and this stands out amongst those tracks. I think A Verdant Wind Blows is absolutely iconic in that sense. So we do that, you know, that's your hometown, you're kind of chilling, and then we'll move into something a little bit sadder with 1000 Times Resist's Blue Communion. This is a song that plays during my favorite moment of the entire game in terms of like cutscenes. Very somber, very lonely, very sad. And this is just to kind of slow the tone down a bit more and get people ready for what's to come, which would be the big event that sends the hero on the journey, because you have to have a reason to go, right? So moving on from that, we'll move back into something that is an equal mix, joyous and somber, with Limbus Company's Canto 4 Boss Theme 1. I had to pause that one because I started getting lost in that song. That one is so good at sucking you in. It's crazy. Like I said, it's very much a beautiful mix of like childhood wonder and sorrow. You got even like people laughing and children running around playing in the background, the chime bells. It's a beautiful piece that feels very melancholic, very nostalgic. And that, of course, that is kind of the theming behind that scene. Don't worry, I've already played it. The Limbus Company review is still in the works. It's just been postponed for a bit. I'm still behind on my cantos. It's coming. Don't worry. It's gonna happen. Okay, the review, Limbus Company review will happen. Just have some patience. But yeah, this is a very special track from that game, because I know everybody glazes the Millie final songs, but this is also one of the most fantastic boss tracks in that game. So going from something that is kind of a mix of like the happiness of times and an impending sorrow that's coming, we're gonna move from upsetting to unsettling with Destiny 2: The Witch Queen's Altar of Reflection. So good. It's so creepy. I wish this game hadn't fallen off so hard. I swear I'm not just baiting Marco with some of these picks, I promise. It just happens to be that we like some of the same music. But this is one of my absolute favorite tracks from the Witch Queen soundtrack. It is used for a very special location in that campaign, and it is exquisitely creepy. It is a very perfect tone to represent somebody going into a place that they know nothing about and probably should not be there. It's like unearthing a crypt. And we're going to move on because we're going to pretend that you've unearthed something unholy from this horrible place into Return of None, Something Unto Death's boss theme. Oh yeah. Say what you want about gacha games and Hoyo ones in particular, they always hit with the music. That is like undeniable. I've seen someone describe this as a jazz band from hell, and it is exactly what it is. It's a jazz band from hell. It's so distorted and wrong. You are not meant to be here. If Altar of Reflection was the turn back, this is, you've crossed the point of no return, suffer the consequences. With this, and now the whole world is going to suffer the consequences as we enter into the second to last song and the climax of what I will consider Act 1 of the concert, Bravely Default 2's Marionette of the Night and Wisdom Lost to the Nexus. I kind of used both just because it's the only upload I could find that's reasonably length, and also they flow together nicely. Severely underappreciated track from this game. I have to hold my headphones on because they keep sliding off every time I headbang. Oh yeah. Yeah, like Marionette of the Night is so unbelievably good. Rock Baroque is insane for Revo to take the Night's Nexus in as a direction. It's so good. The harpsichord, I know it bothers some people, but I absolutely love it. I've come to realize from listening to this that I like Baroque classical music. It is so monstrously creepy that something has been unleashed. And that comes in full force with the second half of the song, which we're going to jump to right now. A little treat for people that were expecting Final Fantasy VII songs. No, One Winged Angel is not on this concert list. I'm sorry. I gotta get tighter headphones, man. You two didn't have to put up with this, boss! You're lucky! Oppressive does not even begin to describe this song. It hits so unbelievably hard. And it very much encapsulates the boss fight you're going against because it's a complete bastard at times. Just such a good, threatening boss theme. It's so good. I really wish more people talked about this song. But with your village race to the ground, or however you want to interpret the flow of the concert so far, we move on to the final song of Act 1, which is something a little bit different. Very flat and wide, as I like to describe these kinds of songs. There's a lot of emptiness, it feels like, in it. The constant droning makes the pings stand out even harder. So this is Battlefield 3's The Death of Vladimir. You can take a guess at what part of the game it plays during. Sorry. This is a game that I have a lot of ties to growing up, and I wanted to make sure there was some kind of inclusion in it, and I feel like this is a very good song to use to kind of give off that whole vibe of just everything's been ruined, everything's been destroyed, you know, you're fucked, the situation's fucked, we have to leave, or something like that. And that would be a great closing to Act 1, I felt. So moving on to Act 2 of the concert, we would open up with the idea that you're kind of like running away and journeying, seeing foreign lands, trying to find a way to fight back against the thing that you unleashed or whatever. And we will start that expedition with some more Destiny 2. Yes, that was completely bait. Witch Queen and Beyond Light have so different types of sounds, like they're so differently sounding, that I didn't have as much of an issue putting these closer together. Especially because they're completely different DLCs. This one carries some of the same vastness to the sound of the song, some of the same like kind of emptiness, but it's a little bit more hopeful and a little more explorative. It feels like you're venturing into the unknown, but it's not quite as dangerous. More so, you're not scared about going into the unknown, you're more hoping that things are going to be better elsewhere. And that's kind of the tone I want to establish. But we still want to continue with the adventuring, so we're going to move on to a classic track for everybody in the audience. Something a little bit more universal. So many hours in middle school wandering around to this track, gazing up at the Aurora Borealis of Skyrim. Entering taverns, hearing the door creak. Loading screen. Door closes behind you, go to the innkeep. I should replay Skyrim. Let me know if you want to see me do a Let me know if you'd want to see me do a playthrough of Skyrim on the channel. Sorry, I got lost in the music for a second there. Go back to Whiterun, making it home 30 overweight because I didn't want to drop any treasure. Good memories. Secunda it's iconic. I don't think there's much more to be said about it. Everybody knows this track if you've played any amount of Skyrim. It's the adventuring song from that game, I feel. Moving on from that, though, we're going to move into something a little bit related to Skyrim, because we're going to sticking. I'm so good at ad-libbing scripts. We're going to be sticking to the theme of dragons, moving into Final Fantasy XIV.
And death an afterthought to those who fight for naught, alone, lying empty.
Heaven's Ward, baby. I put out a tweet literally today talking about this. If I was hired by Square and they said, we'll let you make any game you want, I wouldn't even make a Bravely game. I would try to get a standalone HD 2D turn-based RPG made out of Heaven's Ward. Just a standalone of it. And call it Final Fantasy Dragon Song. That's what I would do. I love Heaven's Ward to death. It is such a good narrative. Music is phenomenal. The boss fights are incredible. The Final Steps of Faith is one of my favorite final boss fights of any video game. It's Heaven's Ward is so good. Why can't I go back and replay it? I have a review of FF14, the first two expansions, like the base game and the expansion, if you haven't seen it. So, moving on from that, we're going to keep going on in the theme of exploration, but we're going to start shifting the music a little bit into a different kind, with a track from Warframe that I particularly like, but I don't hear a lot of people talk about. I still remember when this was like the login theme for every update. Oh man, it's such a beautiful song. Exploring the Orcan Void structures with this playing in the background is a treat and a half. If you haven't done it, do yourself a favor, try Warframe. I know I'm stealing Marco's bits again. Play Warframe. It's free to play. You lose nothing out of it. It's not a very large game to download. It's free. It's amazing. Play Warframe. I'm sorry. Okay? Can't help it. But this is a very special track to me, because again, this is going back to middle school, cracking open Void relics while running around in there. Now, this is where I want to start shifting the concert a little bit away from orchestral and try to explore a different side of video game music, which is usually what people probably associate, which is more electronic-y stuff. So we're very slowly and gradually moving into a couple of electronic songs. And we're going to continue that transition and keep it very, very slow by moving into Fire Emblem Three Houses, The Spirit Dais. Similar kind of tone, similar sounds, and another voice. But we're picking up the speed a bit on this. Now, this mostly plays as background music during the conversation scenes between Byleth and Sothis. I haven't played Three Houses, I just watched Tegan Fossatelli play through it like 4 times at university. But this song and the next 2 songs are meant to be rather short and kind of flow together to take us into the next larger sequence. So we're speeding up the pace a little bit, and we're going to move into a brand new song for a game that just recently came out, Code Race, by Ryan Lott of Sunlux for Marathon. So now at this point we still have some of the vocals going on, but it's almost entirely electronic at this point, if not is. Synthetic with a touch of human. And then from that, we're just going to slide right into another very weird pick, Tetris Elements Tempest Mode. Going fast, building it up. So in 5 songs, we've gone from Dragon Song to this, to slowly gradient ourselves into electronic, while still being a reasonably paced concert. But we're approaching the end of Act 2, so we need to have another big fight, and so we're going to move into 2 really good electronic combat tracks, starting off with Cyber Ninja. This fight was so good in the game. Hard guitars popping up your neck. If I wanted the concert to go harder, I probably would have used Contra La Luna from Phantom Liberty, because that is my favorite track in the game by far. But this... amazing boss. And we're going to take this and we're going to transition into another popular song for everybody. Most people will be familiar with it. It's Genshin time. We gotta give the Raiden Shogun some love. She's too popular. It's so good. It is a little bit slower in tempo, and maybe in concert you could pick it up just a little bit more just to match the speed of Cyber Ninja just a smidge. But this track rocks. I love all the versions of it. All of the Raiden Shogun themes are incredible. But that would conclude Act 2 of the concert. So after that fight, we're going to have a little bit of reminiscing, a little bit of preamble, a little bit of build-up towards the final fight, the big finale. And we're going to start off with finally an Expedition 33 track that I don't hear a lot of people talk about as much. This is my favorite. Well, I was about to say it's my favorite non-combat theme in the game, but technically it is a combat theme, which is what makes it so cool. It's so good. The way the piano hits on that, it's so good. Yeah, one of my absolute favorite tracks from that game. I know everybody would want me to probably pick Un Via Teme or Un Via Piandra. And those are fine, but they don't fit the flow of the concert. I wanted this to make sure it all goes together and try to represent every little game that I really, really care about. The Expedition 33 review is still in the works. Just have some patience. The script is nearly done. I'm going to try to get it out as soon as I can. I promise. And I feel like this works really well for leading into the kind of retrospective moment of the campaign, which we are going to continue with something that everybody would love. It's another classic we're tossing in here. I haven't played this. Do not spoil it. I know of the song and that is it. I know nothing else about FF9. I am actively avoiding spoilers. But we're putting this in. It has to go in. This is like the most free spot on the bingo card. I cannot wait till I get to play this game. I still gotta do 7 and 8 first. Everything's slowly building up and getting incorporated into the song. It's so unbelievably good. There's so much heart in this song. Oh, I'm gonna cry when I get to the song in FF9, aren't I? But we aren't done there, because this is the picking yourself up part. So now that we're encouraged, we're finally gonna step up to the plate and return to Warframe with Final Ascent. As the name implies and the music sounds, elevation rising up to the occasion. Oh, Stalker. It's quests like this that make me keep playing Warframe. So now, with us all built up and reascended, we're going to enter into the final dungeon, and we're going to use a track that might be unexpected to be the pick for Kingdom Hearts to fit into this playlist. I would have liked to do Hearts as one, but I think I'll do a separate video on that song in the future, hopefully. And I wanted to use something a little bit more intimidating, a little bit more worrying. This carries so much final zone energy, it's astounding. This specific rendition as well. I imagine this is probably from the Kingdom Hearts 2 soundtrack originally. I'm just going to keep associating it with Days, because that's my favorite Kingdom Hearts game. The whirling in the back. It's so good. It's so fucking good. Ah! Alright, so moving on from that, that's going to be the exploring the final dungeon. Well, we need a penultimate boss, and what better way than to just throw a boss theme into this list than to go with my favorite Dark Souls boss of all time from the entire series. I think it has some similar touches in there. Not exactly the same, but it's got some touches of Mystic Moon. Just a little bit. It's slower, though. It's much slower. Ashes of Ariandel video essay sometime in the future. I have a recorded playthrough of it. Took me a month the first time. Peak. Now that we're finally built up to the final boss, we need a little bit of a transition to get us into it. So we're going to throw in a little something that's always stuck in my head because I kind of liked the atmosphere and the aesthetic it kind of set up. The save point outro theme from the Subspace Emissary campaign in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. The like echoey, churchy kind of sound of Taboo's theme in the back. I guess that's technically the main theme. It's really slow. So we use that to transition into what I'm deciding to be a 3-piece final boss theme. We're going to do Octopath Traveler. I had to settle on it. I couldn't not because the boss theme that I want to use is the Bestower of All, the Bestower of Despair in particular. Not the actual Bestower of All theme, if people know what I'm talking about. It's not that one. It's the person connected to Bestower of All, because I'm not going to spoil it. This person's theme is immaculate. They are associated with my favorite piece of art in the entirety of Octopath, and one of my favorite pieces of just art in media in general. And all the variations of this person's theme make for an immaculate final boss fight. So my proposition would be Bestower of Despair with its full intro, used to govern greed to transition between the two, and then end on the Creator. I'm not going to say the name because that's again a spoiler, but Bestower of Despair to govern greed, the Creator. So let's take a look for those that aren't familiar. At least I showed restraint and didn't just go with Serpent eating the horizon. I can't not smile. It's so good. More people need to be aware of these songs. So that's why I picked them for the finale. I can't play guitar, but it's fun to pretend. Then it gets into it. So as I said earlier, we're going to transition from that with this, the To Govern Greed. It's just loud enough to work. Or you could have a lull at the start between these two, and then just transition this directly into the next song. And that would be just one loop, and then we go right into the final boss theme, The Creator. It's such a strong leitmotif. It's so unbelievably good. I was doing the Spider-Man thing for a second. It is such a shame that this was trapped behind a mobile game for years and nobody knew about it until now Octopath Zero is out. And now people can get to experience it in a fully fledged console release. It's so good. Now time for the best part. I love it. So good. It's so good. It's peak. It's so... There's not enough words to describe how good that song is. But that would be the final boss theme. But we're not done yet because we still have to close out the concert. We can't just end it on a hard, like intense battle theme. We gotta, have something to take everybody out. So we're gonna bring things full circle, both with the company for the first song of the concert, technically the seating song, and also we're going to return narratively within like how this one song is structured similarly to the entire concert. And that song is going to be the full version of the new Rainbow Road track from Mario Kart World. It's happy, it's uplifting, it's a big celebration. I think this Rainbow Road is my new favorite course in the whole series. It's a love letter to Rainbow Road. It's so beautiful. I'm glad they hit it in every trailer. Like they didn't show it, is what I mean. I'm so glad it was a surprise. At least what it looked like. Of course you're gonna have Rainbow Road in a Mario Kart game. But I'm glad it wasn't spoiled. You even get a little electronic section in the middle. A little bit of like a stanky Eurobeat guitar, like Initial D. Oh, so good. As you drift on like the hard rectangular corners of the satellite. Yeah. Now it's time for the big finale. Send off the show. I can't stop grinning. Oh, this part's beautiful. My cheeks are hurting from smiling so much. I'm not even kidding. Alright, but that's not the end, because you gotta have an encore, of course. So I think that I would go with 3 songs for the encore if I could pick. And these are just songs that I like, and I wanted to throw them in. So for the 3 encore songs to finish off the show after the show, which is the point of an encore, I would go with Bravely Default, Wicked Flight. Something a little fun, a little energetic. Lovely song. Then we will go back into Octopath one more time for Those Who Await the Path of Desire. Another incredible Champions of the Continent song that more people need to hear. Can you tell that this encore section is basically just battle themes I couldn't incorporate into the concert, but still want people to hear? And finally, yeah, I'm going to Marco bait at the end again. We're just going to end things off with Tenebra Rosso Sangue. I can't argue with that as a finale song. You can't. It's Tenebra Rosso Sangue. Oh. End the night on this? Yeah. Yeah, I would end the concert on that. Like, I know it's exactly what Marco said, but you can't argue with him. He's right. But that would be the final song for the encore. And then as people are leaving, I had one last song that would play lightly in the background. And it's another probably kind of weird pick, but I think it's a nice one to send people off with, and that would be the credits theme from Legend of Zelda's Spirit Tracks. We need a remake of this game. Please. I would play it again. I don't have any interest in playing other Zeldas besides Majora's Mask, because the only one I didn't finish that I cared about. But I would play Spirit Tracks again in a heartbeat. I'm a proud Spirit Tracks defender. I'll put it that way. Anyway, yeah, that would be the As Everybody's Walking Out song. I think that would be really nice to hear in the background, or for people who just want to sit around and have one last little thing to listen to. I think that'd be good. Anyway, that is my concert list. I'm pretty happy with it. I think it flows pretty decently for the most part, and it's got a good selection of songs from a lot of my favorite games. But I'm curious as to what you all think of it. Again, the whole playlist with all the songs is going to be linked in the description, so you can check that out if you want to listen to it. Marco, thanks for opening up the idea in my head and then having me obsess over this in the background for like 2 years, I guess. Keep up the great work, man. It's awesome seeing you bring a lot more attention and appreciation to the genre of video game music. Yeah. Anyway, that's going to be it for me. Thank you so much for watching. And I will see you all soon. Peace.